Welcome back to Good Morning, LaLa. I'm with this beautiful art in the house. Donna Isham is in the house, artist, glorious artist. You taught yourself how to do this.
You're self-taught?
I am self-taught.
Wow.
But basically, it was something that I did my entire life. I actually drew and painted and with crayons as a child, and I never thought it was a skill. Like, I honestly could duplicate anything. And so I thought everybody could do that. Like, I drew within the lines, and they're like, that's how you did it. And then it was years later that I realized that maybe this isn't a skill that everybody has and something that I should pursue.
So interesting. So many truly talented people are blind to their own signature strengths and gifts because they just assume everybody can do it well. I heard an interview once with Jay-Z and he said, I just thought everybody could memorize 40 verses at a time and I was like, right?
Wow.
So when was the first moment you discovered that it wasn't something everybody could do? It was something that specifically you could do, well? Is there a moment?
That's an amazing question. Honestly, I was always an artist and I was just too frightened to be that vulnerable, to put myself out there. And so I went to the traditional path. My parents said, well, you need to go to university. I went to Berkeley, it's a completely academic school. I sort of pushed it away, kept pulling it back. And I honestly became a costume designer and a stylist because I could draw and I could be behind the camera. I'm really nice behind the camera. And it wasn't until a number of years ago that I had to take that fear that I had and turn it into courage and to actually allow myself the vulnerability to actually put my work out.
Interesting.
Wow. And what messages are you trying to communicate through your art?
Well, I love what you write here, empowerment and inspiration. A number of years ago, when I first started doing this, I called my husband, my kids. I said, I need to talk to you upstairs. And they're like, what's wrong, Mom? Are you going to die? Are you getting divorced? And I was like, I'm going to show you something. You need to not say a word, like nothing. And I started to show them. And they're like, what's going on? I started to show them drawings and paintings that I had done over the years. And they're like, you're our best friends. How the do we not know about this? And I just couldn't do it. I said, okay, I'm going to do this.
Wow.
And you guys need to not say anything. And I just kept doing it, and I got a tremendous amount of encouragement, and they're fantastic.
It's interesting because I do think that when you put your art out, your book or whatever it is, it's like your baby. You're putting it out to the world, and to have it be criticized would be probably like the worst thing ever. So then what? Here you were. You had developed, obviously, an extraordinary artist. You'd come out of the closet to your own family, right? And then what happened?
Well, and then I'm the president of Artists for Human Rights, which is a human rights organization that sheds light on human rights abuses. So for 10 years, we've been hosting events and traveling to Honduras and India in the name of human rights, right? To help children that have been trafficked. 27 million kids are being people are being trafficked, highest ever in, ever. And with all this abuse that was going on, I just went, I need to actually inspire people. I actually need to communicate so that people can actually do what they want to do. Like women, I do a lot of women. I didn't have any role models growing up that actually weren't homemakers and mothers. That was it. Like not a cousin, not an aunt, nothing, nobody. And so I always looked at these women that could actually have a career while raising a family, and how important that is for a woman to be able to have that all, to be able to have the strength and yet the vulnerability and the beauty and the dominance and the fear and all of the courage and everything that entails in that.
Yeah.
And so that's actually inspired me to continue to communicate as an artist.
Well, you're a living inspiration of that as well. Beyond just your art, you are a walking embodiment of it.
Totally.
Well, thank you. I'm trying my best. It's a journey.
What is it, the legacy you're trying to create for yourself? What do you want to be known and remembered for?
Well, actually, now as a fine artist, now I want to have, you know what? I think that it's important for women and for youth and for everybody to see that they can do that all. I mean, women have been so subjugated throughout the world. I mean, they've done studies, microeconomics. If you actually teach women how to do a craft and sell it, and that changes the entire economics of a country.
Totally.
So if you can do that, and then just in our society here, if you can figure out how to do it all, and to still have the femininity and the vulnerability while being strong and a CEO of a company. I mean, how fabulous is
So
that?
tell us about this piece right here.
This was inspired from a drawing that I did of a woman. And what happens when I paint, I go back and forth. It turns into a conversation with me and actually the actual paint and the canvas. And this was somebody that was struggling but strong. And a lot of paintings have been done through a male gaze, and I'm doing it through a female gaze. So you have a vulnerability, but yet you have a direction that she's communicating to. And I think that that's important.
So important. So important. to
And
be
what about
seen.
this piece right here?
This was, when I do abstracts, I do layer upon layer, and I'll add and I'll subtract and I'll throw stuff on and cover it up. And I have a passion for traveling, and in Aspen there's an area called Maroon Bells, and it's this absolutely picturesque, majestic place where you have a lake and you have these glacier-covered mountains, and the reflection of the sun on the sky is just profound. I'm like actually profound. I mean, I actually consider it sort of paradise over there in real life. Anyway, so that was
I love it.
the inspiration for that.
Well, tell people where they can find your art. Where do you have a next showing?
I do have a next showing. I'm leaving for New York tomorrow. I have a gallery opening at the Amsterdam Whitney Gallery in Chelsea. And I have a website, donnaisham.com.
Nice.
And I'm on Instagram at Donna Isham.
Love it. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
for
much.
all your
Thank
work
you
and
so
your
much
art.
for
Yes,
having me,
of
and thank you
course.
for everything
Beautiful.
that you guys do.
Stay
I mean, I
tuned.
think it's
We'll be right
really
back.
important.